Okay, so when I want to look like a cute little show about a fine sportscaster and his sassy teenage daughter, but watch it again as a grown woman, and it's really a show about a man who tried to be his daughter's friend instead of her daddy, and how that blew up in his face over and over again. And here's the part that got me. Brianna caught the exact same love problem her daddy had, passed it right on down. So today we are going to get into the real psychology behind one-on-one. Come, sit with me, okay? Let's get into it. What's up, everybody? It's your girl Indescribable, aka Geraldine Lake, and I am back with another psych breakdown of one of our favorite black TV sitcoms, One-on-One. Okay, so let me tell you where my head is at with this one, okay? I put this on for a little nostalgia kick, as I've been doing lately now. Flex was always fine. We're not gonna take that away from him. Brianna was being fresh at the mouth, all right? Dwayne was being Dwayne. And I'm laughing, I'm having a good time, but somewhere in there it clicked that this whole show is about a man who missed the first 14 years of his daughter's life, and now he's trying to make it all up at once. And then doing it backwards. And it's about a girl who watched love fall apart before she was even born. And she runs from the real thing every chance she gets. Now, let me start with Flex, because you can't understand none of this without understanding where he started. Flex had Brianna when he was basically still a teenager himself. Him and Brianna's mama, Nicole, were high school sweethearts. And that baby came way before anybody was ready. So what happened? Nicole raised that girl. Flex went off and lived his life. Before Brianna moved in, she used to see her daddy like 2 weeks out of the year. That little girl deserved way more than a 2-week visit, and y'all know this, okay? Meanwhile, Flex is out here living the good life, okay? He was a pro ball player until he blew out his knee. Then he landed on his feet as a sportscaster in Baltimore. Fancy bachelor pad, plenty of money, and women all up and through there. Okay, he was the ladies' man, Casanova. The type to break up with a woman right around the 13th day, so it never felt too real. This is a man who was running from anything that asked him to grow up. And then it all changes one day. Nicole gets a job in Nova Scotia, and instead of moving to Canada, 14-year-old Brianna decides, you know what? I want to live with my daddy now. And just like that, this grown man who never really parented a day in his life has a teenager in his fancy bachelor pad, and he has to slow his entire life all the way down. No more women running through that house. No more doing whatever he wanted to do whenever he wanted to do it. For the first time ever, somebody is depending on him every single day. And baby, let me just tell y'all, he was not ready, okay? It's finna be a lot of go to hells up in this one, so just hold your horses. Flex didn't want to be Brianna's father. He wanted to be her friend. And I actually understand why, because the psychology of it is so very human. When you feel guilty about being gone, you don't want to show up as the bad guy. You don't want to be the mean one, laying down the rules for a kid you kind of don't even really know. You want to be the fun one, the cool one. You want to skip all the hard parts and jump straight to the part where she likes you, because deep down you scared she got every right not to. So Flex tried to be the homie, be the cool dad, make up 14 missing years by being fun instead of being firm. But here's the thing. A teenager don't need another friend. They got plenty of them, okay? What she needed was a parent, somebody steady, somebody who will be the villain, okay, when being the villain keeps her safe. And every single time Flex chose friend over father, y'all know it backfired. The clearest example is that rave episode.
Flex, did you actually think you could build a relationship with your child on trust?
Flex is being the cool, trusting dad, giving Brianna all this freedom, and then she sneaks off to a wild rave in an abandoned warehouse. The whole thing gets out of control and she gets busted. And that night, Flex finally says it out loud. He realizes he has got to be her father, not her friend.
But I want to thank you, because you taught me a very valuable lesson tonight.
I did?
Yeah. I learned that I can be your father, but I can't be your friend.
And that's the whole lesson of this show in one small moment. Being liked and being a good parent ain't always the same job. You even see it when he teaches her to drive. He wants to be the chill, cool dad in the passenger seat. And then the second she's behind that wheel, he loses his whole mind and turns into the most overprotective man alive. That's the swing right there. He bounces between being too much of a friend and then being too controlling, because he never learned the steady middle. He had no balance. Both of them are him overcorrecting for those 14 years he missed. Guilt makes you sloppy like that. You either too soft because you feel bad, or you too hard because you scared. Flex did both of them. Now here's my favorite part of Flex's psychology. This man was terrified of boys coming around Breanna. Overprotective to the extreme. And why, you ask? Because Flex knows what those little boys are thinking. He knows exactly what's on their minds because he's still that boy. At his big grown age, he was the smooth talker. He was the ladies' man. He was the one whose intentions weren't very pure. So every time some boy showed up for his daughter, Flex wasn't really seeing that boy. He was seeing himself.
Tracy's here, Tracy's here. Oh my God, okay.
My little dog.
My big dog, Tracy.
Crazy.
Okay, he was seeing his own younger self walking up to his front door, and he was trying to protect her from the exact kind of man that he kind of sort of still was. That's why he couldn't relax. You can't trust nobody's intention when you remember your own. Breanna moving in is what finally grew Flex all the way up. This serial dater who used to run at the 30-day mark slowly becomes a man who can actually commit. By the end, he's engaged to Danielle, a whole therapist. The man who ran from everything learned how to finally stay. And it was raising his daughter that did it. Sometimes the person you were scared to become is the person your child needs you to be. And you rise to that, okay? That part is absolutely beautiful. Okay, now let's get into this Briana and Arnaz situation because y'all know the receipts finna be receipting, okay? And it's gonna be deep. Arnaz was right there the whole time. Her best guy friend, sweet on her from day one, loyal, goofy, always around, would do anything for her. And what did Brianna do with all that? She kept that boy in the friend zone for years. But watch the pattern, because this is the whole thing, okay? The only time Brianna ever wanted Arnaz was when she was about to lose him. Season 1, a girl named Natasha comes to town and likes Arnaz, even asks Brianna for permission to date him. Brianna says, girl, go ahead. And then gets jealous watching it happen. Then Arnaz starts dating a girl named Ginger. And here comes Brianna's feelings again, right on cue. Then Brianna goes and dates a boy named Josh. And now Arnaz is jealous. These two spent years just two ships passing in the night, missing each other on purpose. One always wanting the other one when the other one was taken. And then Arnaz joins the band and there's a cute new singer and boom, Brianna's jealous all over again. Then they finally get to LA in that season that we really just don't want to talk about. And they break up. They both start dating other people and Brianna's new boyfriend breaks up with her because he can tell that she's still stuck on Arnaz. And the biggest tale of all, there's a whole storyline where Brianna decides she's finally ready to be with Arnaz for real. Only because she thinks some other girl is about to take him. So you see, she never really wanted him when she had him. She only wanted him when he was walking out that door. That is not love. And here's the why. When you really look, Brianna is the child of a teen romance that just fell apart. Her parents were young and in love and it just didn't work. You know, she got raised going back and forth as the result. She literally says at one point that her and Arnaz are better off as friends so they don't end up like her parents. She's scared that if she loves Arnaz for real, that she'll repeat the exact thing that broke her own family. So she keeps him at a distance. And wanting him only when he's unavailable is actually the safest thing in the world because you get all the feelings of love with none of the risk. You never actually have to commit and find out if it lasts. You never have to become your mama or your daddy. So think about what we really are watching. Flex ran from commitment his whole life and Brianna, without even really knowing it, is running the exact same way. He taught her how to love by being scared of it. And she caught it like the flu, honey. That's the deepest thing in the whole sitcom. These two are the same person, just 20 years apart, both learning how to stop running. And for all that back and forth, y'all got to go to hell, okay? Now let me shout out Spirit real quick because she absolutely matters. Spirit was Brianna's ride or die, the fiery best friend, the partner in all the mischief, the one who held her down through all the boy drama. And that friendship was real, y'all, and it was a good friendship. But Spirit also lived that third wheel life a lot, and the show was honest about it. There's a whole storyline where Brianna and Arnaz both got dates, and Spirit is sitting there feeling left out and unwanted. That's such a real thing when you're the single friend in a group where two people got, you know, a little something going on. You love them, but sometimes you kind of feel like an extra in their show. And now let me tell you how the show did Spirit. When the whole thing moved to LA in the last season, Spirit just disappeared. No goodbye, no storyline, not even a mention. A girl who was supposedly friends with Arnaz since they was little kids just erased like she never existed. For just writing her out of the plot and not giving her a real send-off, the writers can go to hell too. Yeah, and I mean that. Now, on the surface, One on One is a light comedy about a fine single daddy and his sassy daughter figuring out how to live together. But under it, it's a show about a family wound getting healed in slow motion. A man who was too scared and too selfish to be a father learning that real love means being the bad guy sometimes. And a girl who watched love break before she was even born, learning that the safe thing, the loyal thing, the friend who was there the whole time, might actually be worth the risk. Flex spent the whole series learning to stop running from his daughter. Brianna spent the whole series learning to stop running from Arnaz. Same lesson, 2 generations, 1 house. And that's the message I'm going to walk away from this show with. The stuff we run from in love, we usually caught it from the people who raised us. And breaking that, choosing to stay even when everybody in your family tree chose to run, that's some of the bravest work that a person can do. So talk to me in the comments. Did you catch that Brianna only ever wanted Arnaz when he was moving on? And be honest with me. Was your daddy trying to be your friend when you really just needed him to be your parent? Because I think a lot of us grew up exactly like that. But y'all know what to do. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you know every single time your girl uploads. And I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.